Welcome to Oz, the voice behind the curtain. We're going to go through some of the answers for the stations we had. Most of you said that the decimals, adding and subtracting, were the easiest. So, we're going to look over, see if you got the correct answers, and then we're going to also look at adding and subtracting fractions, and that'll be in another video. But let's get started with the adding and subtracting of the decimals. The first thing we had was 12.34, and then we had 8.9. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 0 so that it has the same placeholder as the first one. So we're in the tenths here, hundredths here. And then we had 11.023, so we got to match things up. And what do we have to do then? Hey, we got to add some more zeros, these invisible zeros here, so that we're all in the thousandths place. Now, most of you did a great job because you knew that you had to line up these decimals, because that will go down there once we start adding these up. And that's what we were told to do. I think it's a lot easier to add them up vertically than horizontally, because you get to line up those decimal points, so that will be right there. And we just add, so 0, 0, 3. 4 and 2 is 6. 9 and 3 is 12, so we're going to have to carry that 1. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That one, and we have 1, 2, 3, so we have 32.263. That was our addition of decimals. Then we had the subtraction of decimals, and we had 176. Do the little squiggly to separate it. 176.2. And we're going to add that to 0.307. So that was the first thing we had to do, because we do left to right order operations. So we have to add those two zeros. And the problem had these two decimals being added. So again, we have to line up those decimal points. So it's going to come down there. And to add, well, we just have 7, 0, and 5. No carrying. Then we just add down here. And again, there are zeros there. So you can just add down. We have 6, 7, 1. Then we had to subtract that from 9, 1, 2.065. And as many of you noted, that taking 912.065 from 176.507, you can't do that. You're going to get some negative numbers. And so then what do we do here when we have two things that have different signs and we're subtracting? We're always going to take the larger number, so the 912.065. So really, we're going to take that 912.065. We're going to subtract that from the smaller amount, the 176.507. And we have our decimals lined up. Just like you were in elementary school, you had to line up to go through the hallways. Maybe hold each other's hand, make sure you were quiet. But we're going to subtract here. We may have to borrow. And we do, because we can't take 7 from 5. We're going to borrow from the 6, make it a 5, make this into a 15, We can take 15 minus 7, because we're taking away 7 from 15. That's going to give us 8. 5 minus 0 is 5. 0 minus 5, oops. We're going to have to borrow here, but we can't borrow from the 2 or the 1, so we got to borrow from the 9. Whoa, way out here. 8. That would get us 11 here, but we got to borrow 10. That makes this 12. Borrow from here, so we got 11. So we got 10 here, so we can take 10 minus 5, which is 5. 11 minus 6, 5. 10 minus 7 is 3. And 8 minus 1 is 7. But because in our original problem, the 912 was bigger, this is going to be a negative answer. So when you have a positive and a negative, you're either adding them or subtracting. One's bigger than the other, especially the negative one here. Your final answer is going to be negative. I think of it like money. If I have $176 roughly and I owe somebody $912, well, I can pay them the $176 right now. Maybe they won't break my kneecaps or something like that. And I'm still going to owe $735. And what's weird is we got a lot of 5s in these answers. But that's how we're going to add and subtract decimals. Didn't seem to be too bad. Let's then take a look at our fractions.